retro gaming is just flat out getting out of control. Now, what I mean by that is, have you seen the prices of what they're charging for loose copies of old games? Like NES, Super Nintendo, you get it, you know. So, even newer than that, even. Like PS1, PS2 games, even PS3 games, if they're uncommon enough. Now, listen, I'm old school, okay? I'm all about the old school. I mean, look at this. I got a flip phone, crying out loud, and it's 2023. And I'm okay with it. But the retro game, collecting is getting out of control. I mean, first of all, the pandemic didn't help anything. You know, obviously people sitting at home. And I remember, oh God, I'm sorry, I got this. It's been unseasonably hot here where I'm at. It's been in the high 90s, so mouth is always dry. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, there's a local store here that's kind of like a video store, not a video rental store, but you know, where you can get old retro games like in person. And I have no problem advertising for them. Last Stop CD Shop here in Sioux Falls. Look them up. They actually have a website. And they're actually a really good store. You can order online and make, you know, whatever. Make it to where if you want a certain item, they'll hold it for you, but whatever. I mean, they've always treated me right? So, and if something doesn't work, they replace it, whatever. But anyway, getting back to it, that's about the only place we have here anymore that where you can actually get this kind of older games without going online. I don't like going online because, you know, just because of all the hacking and, well, and I'm old school, obviously, and it's just, you know, I like to see things in hand, in person, you know what I mean? Because when you go on eBay or something, I mean, you're buying from total strangers. You don't know who the hell you're buying it from. They may say, oh yeah, I got this game that's never been opened, $25,000. Well, and then you get the piece of shit, and then it's all scratched up and beat to hell or whatever. You get the drift. So I like shopping in person. And the thing is, I'm seeing these. Now listen, I can understand if you have something rare, okay? If you have something rare that I've seen, actually there's a few rare items at the store I was talking about. Super Mario RPG, or whatever it was, for the Super Nintendo. Great game, by the way. It was factory sealed. Never been open. $2,500. Now, see, I think that's a little steep. But again, that is a rare item. That is something you can't just go out and get like GoldenEye 007. Which, by the way, we'll get to that in a minute. But that I have no problem with. What I have a problem with is somebody like me, maybe I just, you know, thank God I have the collection I do. You've seen it. One of my first video, well, actually, the first video I ever did on YouTube was my Nintendo 64 collection. I get sidetracked. I'm sorry. I'm kind of scramblish today. I don't know why. But anyway, so there's really two main systems I like collecting for, and I use that term kind of loosely. But one of them is the Nintendo 64, and I know the NES, Super NES, stuff like that. But that was that system holds a special spot in my heart because that's when I had, remember, the most fond memories. You know what I mean? 007 GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie, Zelda, Super Mario 64. I mean, Doom. I mean, we can go on and on and on about the 64. And so one of the things I have an issue with is like, these ain't even rare games. Like what I was going about saying. It's like, I understand if you got something that's factory sealed. But we're talking a game like Super Mario 64 was at the store for $45. I mean, $45 for Super Mario 64? I mean, are you kidding me? It's like, I mean, I just don't understand it. And I think what the problem is during the pandemic, people didn't have a lot of things to do. Now, I understand there was retro game collecting way before that, but I think companies like WATA that grade games and do all that shit, right? Whatever. And if you want to grade something and get it appraised and get it valued, fine. It's like going to a pawn shop. Yeah, great. See what it's worth. But the problem is they'll release articles like somebody sold the Super Mario Brothers for $55,000. Well, then pretty soon everybody's scrambling and running in their closet. So everybody thinks that if they got anything that says Super Mario on it is worth $55,000. Well, that's the problem. I think one reason why retro gaming has skyrocketed, because everybody thinks they got gold, and it's like some people need to be reminded, listen, what if I just want to play an old game like Super Mario 64? Now, what do you tell me? I got to pay $50 for it? I mean, it was $50 in 1996 when it was new. Why is it $50 now? I mean, this ain't a 1969 Corvette that has never been restored and is all original. Yeah, that I could see it being worth money. But it's a freaking N64 game, for God's sakes. It's a piece of plastic. I mean, really? It's just like, it's really getting out of control. I mean, it's just stupid prices. Like, some of the stuff that I bought, like, let's just say 10 years ago, I mean, like Conker's Bad Fur Day is insanely high right now. If you just want a loose copy of it, I think right now it's running you about between $100 and $150. And I paid like $50 for it 10 years ago. And I thought that was high. You know. But again, if somebody, like I said, if somebody has, you know, something rare that's factory sealed or whatever, that I understand. But it's like, and don't get me wrong, I mean, like GoldenEye, yes. You know, Super Mario 64, just to name a few, Donkey Kong Country. Yes, they're desirable games, but they're common games. Like I said, it's not like Clay Fighter 63 and a third. That was a Blockbuster exclusive that hardly anybody can get their hands on. That's a very rare item. That, yes, I can see having tons of value. But it's like, it's a freaking Nintendo 64 game. I mean, you know, like I said, it's not a 1970s Chevelle that's never been restored, you know. I mean, that's why, you know, I'll buy a retro game, but I don't go out of my way to collect them anymore because it's just, the thrill, I mean, the fun of it has just gotten sucked right out of you. Because, I mean, let's be honest, yeah, you know, because we live in a great world where everything's real cheap, right? So now on top of it, oh, you want to play a game from your childhood? Oh, yeah, it's only going to cost you $150. I mean, the shit was $50 when it was new, you know? So tell me what your guys' thoughts are on that. It's just a little rant for today, but I just had to get that off my chest. It's like, I mean, my God, it's a piece of plastic with cartridge games, you know? I mean, it's not gold. Like I said, it's not a 1969 Corvette. It's a piece of plastic that plays a two-dimensional video game, you know? And let's be honest about it. The technology has gotten so advanced nowadays where if you want to play a retro game from your childhood, you literally can go on your laptop and download any type of retro game you can think of. But, yes, you won't have the physical copy of it, but I mean, it's just crazy. And there was somebody saying that it's going to go down. No, it ain't going to go down. If anything, it's going to keep going up because everybody's on this manhunt now to collect these retro games. And it's like, I remember when they were at pawn shops for $2, $3. Nobody wanted them. But now it's like, see, and this is what I talk about where the internet can be a bad thing. Because it's like, oh, if that YouTuber says it's worth $100,000, then it must be. Well, that's what jacks everything up. So, Anyway, I like retro gaming. You know, today's games nowadays, I mean, they just suck. I mean, there's good games, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say all new games are bad because that's obviously not the truth. You know, I like Minecraft, I like 2K, you know, I like the newer simulator games, I like, you know, Dead Island. I mean, it just Saints Row. I mean, I get it. New games, there are some good ones, but the retro games, man, it was just something special. I feel, like I said, I feel sorry for kids nowadays that never going to know what that is, or all they're going to do is hear about it, and maybe never even get a chance to play it now because the prices are so freaking high. What if I had a kid one day and I want to say, hey, let's try out Super Mario World. I'll show you what I grew up with, you know, playing. Well, can't do it because it's $150, you know? So, I know it seems like it's a whiny video, but I'm just saying, man, it's getting ridiculous. The inflation in this country is so ridiculous. I mean, it's getting to the point where I don't even know how they expect people to survive. I mean, that's, you know, it's just crazy. Like I said, it's not just with video games, it's with everything. But like I said, that's another video. But tell me what you guys think. But honestly, it's just, like I said, you know, I mean, like for an example, I'll give you an example. When John Madden passed away, I've seen people all over the internet sealing, you know, that WADA, sealing stuff saying, this is my childhood. It's like, see, and that's what I'm talking about. It's like, dude, it's Madden 95 or Madden 96. I mean, I don't know. But tell me what you guys think. That's my rant for the day. Other than that, yeah, I mean, it's been unseasonably hot. It was 95 degrees today. So, I will catch you guys soon.